love, and light. Peace, love, and light. Got a short presentation. I don't think we all going anywhere. So, peace, love, and light. Salute to the family. I don't know if you can read that, but we're gonna get into something. We're gonna follow the bag today. Islam to the family, peace, love, and light. Peace, love, and light. Alright, so, because I'm out here breathing Allah's good air, I don't need all that, but, that is for the introduction, right? But family, we're going to get into something powerful, right? Because, we had situations to where, like, I put up a post, where, I got so many followers, right? We all got followers, right? And, we all were following this story, and on our timelines. And I didn't hear nobody mentioning, that they had anyone connected to this, right? So then I put up the post, and then out of nowhere, it's, my mama and them, my cousin and them, the mailman's next door neighbors, dogs walker, cab driver, you feel me? But it's like, I'm not taking away from what's taking place. I'm just saying, ask more questions. Just take a closer fucking look. And your boy, Morlock Holmes, is officially on the case today. And, this isn't a laughing matter. But the things I'm going to reveal today, you're going to be considering this situation and what's been told to you thus far. You're going to be scratching your head. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be scratching your head like, oh my God. So, hey, don't go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you can't go nowhere anyway. You know what I'm saying? You where you at. But hey, I'm in New York City. I'm out and about. You know what I'm saying? We're not, it's not what they're telling you. You get what I'm saying? It's a series of things taking place. Yeah, there are people injured. There are people going to hospitals that was okay. They go take a test, and in between taking that test, they mysteriously don't feel so good, and then things are transpiring and people passing within 24 hours of taking the joint. But you got celebrities quarantined for 2 weeks. I thought the cure was go home for 2 weeks and stay. How you was a young kid and you built a fort, like baby boy with the pillows. You built a fort. You know what I'm saying? Stay away from me. You know what I mean? You should have built your fort in quarantine for 14 days. But they got no remedy for other people, and then they're telling some people, hey, man, all you got to do is set up a situation to where you quarantine yourself for 14 days, and then they shut everything down. So now they're looking for a cure, and yet you still have no remedy. So now we're going to go into some stuff today, right? Because, right, when you go deeper into it, I had the mask on at the intro, right? And now you ask yourself, if this thing isn't airborne, why is everyone wearing masks? What does your president have to say about people wearing masks? You get what I'm saying? So now let's look into this, because I got them receipts. You feel me? I got them receipts today. You know what I'm saying? We always come with the receipts. But I'm just trying to, share with the family that in the midst of, the crisis and all this other things, and I'm not taking away from any of the family that have been through something, right? What I am saying is they're playing on our energy, right? It's a lot of low-level vibration energy that's being stirred up through this, right? And you can control that power to your will, right? And man, let's go into this. You know what I'm saying? I got the slides. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm always on here, but if they got a time limit for your boy. But let's get into this. So family. Of course, you know what I'm saying? Today's episode, Morlock Holmes, crackers be lying. You know what I'm saying? Crackers be lying. So, I'm just going to have to say that I'm not saying that, it's not a truthful fact that people are dying from something related to respiratory problems. And we're going to go into, what people that have to have certain health complications that are at a higher risk. Like, I'm going to go into the day to day. But crackers be lying. And, Morlock Holmes got to get to the bottom of it. So, for the family, after this build, I want you to do this. for the next 21 days, right? Because I'm going to give you the timeline. You think you be out and we be rocking by the summer? No, sir. No, sir. They got a timeline where you ain't going nowhere. So stay comfortable. And, this build is going to come in handy, as the months progress. Trust and believe. But I need you to quarantine from the propaganda for 21 days. So on your timeline after this build, right, you don't post anything associated to this thing. You just start, like you was a regular day. You know what I'm saying? Spreading light on your page. Not saying dismiss the situation. No. In the private, you know what I'm saying, prepare your family, handle and do everything that you need to do. But I'm saying as your public persona on your social thing, right? Because this is a social, spiritual war at this time as well, too. Because look, this shit's on every news channel on the planet. Like, a cat wasn't saved in a tree today. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing else going on. Nobody snatched the old lady's purse. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing's going on. Every channel. So now, Many Wakani, right? And this is what I want to say to the family, right? Because when they talk about the health complications and different people, Many Wakani, right? Which is a translation, you know what I'm saying, from the Tainos, right? Our people here, right? Many Wakani means water is life. Water is life, right? So I hope you got a stockpile of some good food, you know what I'm saying, some good eats, and most definitely some water, and stay hydrated. You stay hydrated, you stay, you know what I mean, you keep your spiritual mask on from the propagandist virus, and drink your water, you know what I'm saying, pray to your creator, and keep your spirit right. That's it. So now, I posted that situation, and the family was like, man, my cousin, my uncle, somebody passed from this, right? Man, how could you? You can't even say my condolences or nothing, brother. And you just asking for the autopsy, and you asking for the obituary. I'm not sounding cold-hearted, right? What I am saying is this, right? Because if you got a large number of people that are dying from one particular thing, right, you're going to see a consistency on people's autopsies. I'm not saying you got to show me the autopsy. I'm saying, did they give your family the autopsy? Did they give you further information on your loved one other than saying they came in the hospital, they was kind of okay, they got they got a test. They ain't even get something to hold them out after the test. They check out within 24 hours of the test? That's all I'm trying to say, like, and find out, what other health complications your loved ones had in the time that they went coughing to the hospital, because something else is taking place here. We're going to go into nurses' accounts and all kind of stuff. But I'm not taking away from, am I being disrespectful if I'm saying ask more questions, or they being disrespectful when you can't even see your loved ones at the funeral? They shut it down. You watching your loved ones on a video camera. You feel me? You can't even see them get buried or burned. Like, what's more disrespectful? Ask more questions, because in the duration of this stuff, we all gonna find out that they lied to us about some stuff. So if I could have gave you some foresight to where it's some foul play involved, to where they gonna owe your loved ones some money for some foul play in their death and this and that, you would want to know this information. So it might not be important now. It might just be, oh man, this brother's just, I get you. But how they look at it. No funeral ceremonies in New York during the coronavirus shutdown. Burials without families. But they ain't got no mask on though. So why can't you be around a body that's already passed? There's no virus in the body that's in the joint, right? You feel me? And it's closed up. But nobody got on the mask there, but you can't be there, but they there. See, they came for the bodies. They all got deployed. It's funny, I'm riding around in Manhattan and I see, a whole bus, a chartered bus of military people all get off. They all staying at the hotel. I'm saying, like, where they getting work from? Like, because we all out of work, right? They got you staying home. But all these niggas got a lot of work. What work are they going to be doing? Let's get into it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not being disheartening, to where the families are being told something that they loved one died from. Like, I'm not saying that people are not dying and, oh, man, brother, that's a conspiracy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they lying about the numbers. They're lying about the people what they're actually passing from. But here, right? Funeral homes in the U.S. are limiting services because of the virus. Look at this. Imagine going to the funeral for your family like this. See, they got the camera. They got the camera for the folks. You can watch it on TV. You ain't gonna be there. Now, how's that work? If all of the family, none of the family have nothing and whatever, and someone passed from it, they're gone, right? You're not even quarantined to where you got symptoms and y'all can't come together to see the... Okay, whatever. But, man, what is this right here? CDC recommending general public wear face coverings, right? So they're talking about it, but Think about this. They said it was airborne, but it's not airborne because they're still talking about we're considering you guys should wear a face mask. But you don't have to have them. So, you know what I'm saying? The craziest thing about this, the CDC, they're talking about we should wear a mask, right? And they said, yo, you could cut and make your own damn mask. You feel me? You can make it do-it-yourself cloth. Like, just this shit is retarded. But the president says, like, everybody's not, you know, we're not forcing you to wear no mask, so which means it's not airborne. So now, if they saying that you could wear a mask, you will wear a mask, or you could, you know what I'm saying, cover your face with a scarf, you know what I'm saying, or just cover your mouth when you cough, or when you see somebody cough, cover your nose, you know, your nostrils, right? But that's not the case what we looking at, right? They're saying, yo, if the nurses and all this, something else where they're getting infected, to where if they got masks, but you see a spike of them getting infected, but the general public's walking around without masks. So are you purposely telling us to get infected, or how is this thing transmitted? I'm just trying to ask some questions. You feel me? So most people saying, yo, you're not supposed to ask no questions, brother. This is a catastrophe. You know what I'm saying? People are dying, brother. How dare you? You trying to say people are not, like, listen, people died in 9/11 too. Those were real bodies, right? R.I.P. to the families and Macinto. Real people winning that. But you know, in this day and time, you can't tell me that that wasn't a job pulled off by the said government, opposed to a villain in the comic book called Bin Laden. Now you know that at least you come to an agreement of that, right? So I'm not saying we thinking all crazy conspiracy. Nope, it ain't gotta be no conspiracy. It's people saying we out and open, about to get the bag. We wrote that good bill so we can start getting working, right? So, you know what I'm saying? They saying you should make do-it-yourself cloths and shit. You know what I'm saying? Get it popping. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? But look, family, this is a time where you can do that as well. So if you cut and sew and this, that, and the other, this is the best time to be in business. So now I want to go into something a little more crazier, right? Because they're talking about this thing, and you notice that the first person to pass was on February 29th. It's one person from Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. has now settled their problem early on, this, that, and the other, right? Is what they're saying. But something doesn't look right, right? Because we had a few weeks where, you know, we was on, you know how we do, you know what I'm saying? We can't get it. Nigga, black don't crack. But I ain't black, you know what I'm saying? I'm a more, but I'm going to show you some more. But remember we were saying that, yo, our people can't catch this thing, you feel me? And then you seen celebrities were the first people to come out to say they have it. But none of them got to a crazy health situation, you know, to where they just quarantine themselves, they back to normal. But then you started seeing a spike where our people, you know, started to be involved in this, right? But I'm looking at the sinister side of it, right? Because, all right, why is coronavirus killing more black people in Milwaukee than in all of Wisconsin? So now let's go into what's going on here. Let's take a look here. See this here, family? Milwaukee is the most segregated city in the United States and consistently ranked as the worst for African Americans. You feel me? Now check this out. The only people that died from this virus was our people in this entire county. Let's find out. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Something else is going on. Something else is going on. Like, to where now it's spreading, but certain places. Let's get to this. Let's get to this. See if we can blow that up. Yeah, we can blow it up. I'm gonna go to the highlighted section, right? But in Milwaukee County, home to the eponymous city that is also the most segregated in the United States. The first 8 people to die of the complications from the virus, right, have been African Americans. And it's one place. Further shattering, right? Look, they just throwing it in our face. Further shattering the misguided misconception that black people cannot contract coronavirus, right? So it's like they started the drill in this one county where only all the people that tested positive, every last one of them died in this place. But no Albions. Nobody's talking about that. Okay. In fact, on Friday afternoon, the first 8 people just so happened to be the only people in the entire Milwaukee County to have died from the virus. While the death toll in the entire Milwaukee County, where it is, was comparatively low,
to those of closer to the majority affected areas like New York City. See, they're testing little areas, man. It's another way how this thing is transmitting it. They're not speaking on how they're releasing it. So look at someone here. So far, every single coronavirus fatality in Milwaukee has been a black person. The racist structure of our society means that coronavirus will hit poor black communities the hardest. What's going on? See, they mentioned on the news, they said, yo, remember when they were saying like, yo, 200,000 people might die? They said, where'd y'all get these projections? They said, yo, if every city had the population like New York City, you see how they saying basically target areas where we overpopulate them areas, us. Because they saying metropolitan, you already know what that means. Where niggas congregate, you feel me? That's translation in politician talk. But the Associated Press reported that claims 13 people had died, but local departments have confirmed 15. See, nobody, at no organization, nobody got correct numbers. And all this stuff's supposed to be reported to the CDC, who still have inconsistency numbers, 500, 600, 700, 1,000 off from all the papers and everybody else. The reason for the racial disparity in the coronavirus deaths in Wisconsin, and especially Milwaukee, also was not clear. So they saying, we don't know why it's a race problem, like in terms of, we don't know why just the low-income population is catching it and nobody else is catching it. When it don't cost you no money to stay in the house, you feel me? Like, supposedly broke people could stay in the house better than anybody, you feel me? You ain't got nowhere to go. You ain't got no money to do nothing, right? So how is it that in this one county, our people, and only our people, contracted it and died, right? Soon after, right? So something else is taking place here. Something else is taking place. Now look at this here, right? This was a tweet from a sister in the town, right? That's what she wrote. Milwaukee, she said, look, a 69-year-old, see, it's always people older that had a few health complications. Now pay attention here. A 69-year-old black woman from Milwaukee died about 24 hours after he was admitted in the VA hospital. 24 hours after he got admitted. Admitted 325 with a fever, cough, and weakness. Tested positive. Continued to decline and died a day later. Pre-existing conditions. Diabetes, see that? Hypertension and all. So now it's certain people that, you know what I'm saying, where let's say they give you some shit, and certain people based on your health, you know what I'm saying, status, right? Pre-existing conditions and such, you're at a risk of what's going on. Because it's not something just came out of nature. That's not how this works. But now, let's go to something else. Now we going to where it got to go. Now, I'm going to read this article here, right? And this article is crazy because it talks about the very first case. Remember I told you, the very first case of the person that died, this, that, and the other. And it started out in Washington. This person came from a flight somewhere. They was trying to say connected with China. Nigga was eating bat soup. All this stuff that was inconsistent and found to be not true at this moment. But let's check this out. Healthcare workers, right? According to NNU, a single case coronavirus, which a patient was admitted on February 18th. Follow me, family. On February 18th, has now resulted in quarantine of 36 registered nurses and 88 other healthcare workers. Listen to what just happened. So if the healthcare workers all got on masks, this is the first patient. They know he got it, so they all got masks when they initially come in contact with him, but he managed to infect 36 nurses and 88 other people in the hospital. How does that work? Was he on a ventilator? Because remember, he died. Was he on a ventilator, and then he got up in his sleep and he was walking around infecting people? How does that spread through the hospital if you got my man on a ventilator who initially died? How does he spread it to 36, almost 100 and something people? This is the stuff we're not going to pay attention to, right? So now, this situation here, the nurses viewed the handling of this COVID-19 case as a system failure and not a success. So the nurses blamed it on, we ain't got enough masks and we ain't got enough this, that, and the other. But again, as I said, the president said to the public, You ain't gotta really wear a mask. You can wear a scarf. You ain't gotta wear nothing. The CDC is not forcing you by law to do anything opposed to wearing a mask. They're recommending, you get what I'm saying to you? But they're not saying, if you start trying to stop something from spreading and it's airborne, wouldn't you say everybody is demanding, why don't you have your mask on? They should be having rundown drive-by squads that make sure people got the mask on. You feel me? If it was airborne, as they say. So now, wait a minute. How did this person infect all of these nurses and staff people at the hospital if he initially died? So when he came in, they tested him. They already was geared up. How you run out of a shortage of supplies if that was the very first patient? How's that work? You mean to tell me that before this day, they never had those kind of masks at the hospital? But again, your president and CDC, the Center for Disease Control, said that it's not required that you wear a mask. So how is the hospital staff getting infected if they all maxed up? Something doesn't make sense. So this nigga spread this shit to almost 150 people and he checked out. The only first case in the entire country. Interesting shit. So now, let's get it on. Now, this is not the time for hospital chains to cut corners and prioritize their profits. This is the time to go the extra mile and make sure healthcare workers, patients, and the public are protected at the highest standard. This is the nurse people. See, this is all another tie-in too, right? Because the hospitals was losing money, baby. We gonna get into it. They's losing money, and they're losing money behind this. It's like a double-edged sword. We gonna get into this stuff. But Islam to my empress, my sister, you know what I'm saying, on here on the tune in, and she's a nurse, right? And she said they were testing people using the kits for basically testing the flu. They put the metal brush she was explaining, they put down your throat so they test you for the flu. But now they got these other tests that's coming out. So wait a minute, how has everybody got these different kind of tests, and some people saying negative, some people saying positive? So do you understand what I'm saying, how all of this stuff is getting mixed together? And it looks like a lot of traffic at the hospital. Of course it is, because you got the public scared and shit, and everybody's running around with a mask, without a mask. You can't catch it with a mask or without a mask, but get a mask. You be like, what? They say, yo, I'm gonna see you tomorrow, but I ain't gonna see you tomorrow, but I see you tomorrow, so I ain't gonna see you tomorrow. You be like, what, nigga? Okay, is you finished or are you done? But we go further to what I was getting into, right? Because remember what I told you. I said the hospitals, they was losing money. And I talked to a lot of different nurses, and they said they laid off a lot of people. So I start digging. They laying people off. How you laying people off if you got all these bodies that you're gonna have to... And then they got people coming in volunteering being nurses. Then New York City's offering, we waiving a license fee. You know what I'm saying? For you to get your license, nigga, just come on down. Throw your scrubs on. So what's going on? They building outside hospitals in the middle of Central Park, but you got 3 or 4 hospitals in New York City that are empty. Now they'll show you the few where people are there. So I'm not discrediting and saying people aren't in the hospitals with IVs on, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm telling you to ask more questions. So now look at this. Despite federal corona stimulus, many hospitals could face layoffs within months. They saying, even after y'all got the bag, the hospital's still in trouble. I'm explaining to you how the hospitals are still in trouble. They not making no money, baby. You feel me? Look, you can't write off these corona patients at the hospital. They can't do these expensive surgeries. They suspended all other ways to get money in the hospital other than dealing with niggas coming in for this. Understand what's taking place. So how did they get them some money, but they're still laying people off? I don't know. So now we take a look at this, right? Nearly all hospitals would lose on average $2,800 per COVID-19 patient case if reimbursement rates aren't raised. See, this wasn't written in that 247-page bill that people just signed that nobody read. Despite a proposed 20% reimbursement rate increase for treatment. They're trying to kill the lights. Now look at this. Hospitals would not have a sufficient cash flow to survive for the next 2 to 3 months. So you get what I'm saying? Family, they're talking about this thing is going to rock all the way till like September, baby. Like, I don't know if you heard it. Like, it's not no next month. Nope, that's not how this works. They already put that out there. So if they're going to cover this in 3 months and the hospital said we're going to go broke in 3 months, man, look, it's fire trucks riding around where it's no fire. But hey, you know what I'm saying? They all got something to do because, you know, we ain't at work. But they're going to lose a lot of cash flow, you know what I'm saying, in those 3 months, even while they're still trying to combat this. The Treasury Secretary Stephen Martin continued to discuss a federal stimulus package that would raise the Medicare reimbursement rate by 20%. They're still talking about it. They don't even have this bread yet. But they just got this $2 trillion. So goddamn, $2 trillion, you already spent the money. You ain't got no change for the little guy. But man, it goes in to say, right? In addition to insufficient reimbursement rates for treating COVID patients, Strata noted that hospitals are financially strapped due to the loss of elective surgeries and a primary source of revenue for provider organizations. See? Let's get into this. We can do all this off the top now. So now, family, they suspended all these other kind of surgeries and basically how everybody else get their bag at the hospital, and everybody's engaged in this stuff. And then 1 minute they saying we got to buy all these masks and we're running out of masks, and then this thing is not airborne. Something just don't sit right with me. You know what I'm saying? It just don't sit right with me. I'm saying, if, you know, your loved ones do get in a situation where they go down there and, you know, they're not feeling a little well, you got a fever, like, try to stay home and quarantine yourself. You get what I'm saying? Unless you, like, where you can't breathe, you know what I'm saying, on some, you know what I'm saying, Eric Gardner type of stuff. If it's to that point, you know what I'm saying, then, you know, you should really just at least, you know, get some loved ones or someone to check on you and, you know, try to ride this temperature. But don't go rushing down to one of their facilities to where, because, man, they're gonna stick you with an IV faster than you know it. And you might not come back out of the situation. You get what I'm saying? But I am encouraging the family that have multiple health complications, just, you know, try to quarantine yourself and just, you feel me, eat right. And, you know, now, let's look at all these hospitals, right? Michigan Nurses Union addresses unpaid layoffs. Lack of PPE, right? This is all over the country. This is while this is happening. Unpaid layoffs. This is after the stimulus. Do you get what I'm saying? It's other things taking place than what we know. WHS announces layoffs amid COVID-19 outbreak. Let's get to it. Thursday, they were laying off a staff in several departments and facilities were temporarily closed. They said it started carrying out voluntary and mandatory layoffs for staff and the affected departments. So how are they shutting off the hospitals and they saying, man, we got to build hospitals outside because we running out of space and beds, but you're shutting down hospitals and laying off people. But then you're getting people to volunteer for this thing. Something just doesn't make sense, man. Like, you feel me? Like, something don't make sense. But Lifespan reports $35 million loss in 2019. CEO lays off last resort. This is in Rhode Island. CEO, like, we got to lay people. This is in November. They was telling me we got to lay people off. And that's still going down. Hospital situation, right? CarePoint Health issues 2,700 layoff notices in anticipation of hospital sales. They're selling hospitals around the country. Something else is going on. This is in Jersey City. CarePoint Health Christ Hospital in Jersey City, where more than 1,000 employees received layoff notices. 1,000 people, baby. This is happening right now. You feel me? So, I don't know. You're going to help something and then harm it at the same time. The owners of 3 hospitals in Hudson County have taken another major step towards getting out of the hospital. More than 2,100 layoff notices have been issued at the Hoboken University Medical Center. This is two locations. So I want to show you this here because I'm not discrediting that people are not dying, but I want you to understand that, okay, a lot of people are having flu-like symptoms, and I want you to look at these numbers. CDC estimates that influenza, that's the regular flu, has resulted in between 9 million and 45 million illnesses, between 140,000, 810,000 hospitalizations, and between 12,000, 61,000 deaths annually. Since when? So you have to understand that there were people that were going to die from the flu this year. That was already written because of the, either your health conditions, you get what I'm saying, and you should happen to catch the regular flu and this and that. So what I'm trying to say, I'm not, oh, this thing is like the flu and this and that. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is a lot of people are going in negative and they have regular cold and flu symptoms and somebody's making you positive. And there's a connection to this, and we're going to follow the bag. Because I'm not trying to take nothing away from this, and oh man, you're not saying people dying. You mean to tell me they wouldn't give your loved ones something to get them to check out and they get a bag off their death? You mean to tell me that that's not taking place? Understand that, you feel me? It's always going to be somebody that makes money in a crisis. Trust and believe. Who do you think made money when the stock market crashed in 29? Right. Who do you think made money when it crashed in 2008? Right again. So now, there was a guy that got tested, right? And he basically didn't have it, but they gave your boy a high-ass motherfucking bill in the hospital. Let us say. He got tested for coronavirus. Then came the flood of medical bills. See, it's about a bag to this, and we're gonna follow everything here. Hidden costs for ER visits and other fees could cost people thousands of dollars. See, everybody, while we scrambling and oh man, they gotta save us. They behind the scenes like, how many ways can we make money off this shit, nigga? You feel me? So now let's look at this here. So when COVID-19 cases rising across the country, he called his doctor for directions. He was advised to come to the doctor's group practice where the staff took swabs for flu. Check this out. For swabs for flu and other viruses as he sat in his truck. It came back negative. Negative, my G. So what did they just say? They're testing shit like they're testing the flu. My sister, that's a nurse, she said, yo, we testing people with kits that we use for flu people. Do you understand what's going on? Something else is going on here. By Monday, March 9th, he reported to his doctor that he was feeling better, but still had some cough and low-grade fever. See, after he came from the hospital. He's okay. Look, he's negative, but he's still, what happened when he was there? Within minutes, he got a call. Now look at this. Here's the 52 fake out. He's negative now. Within minutes, he got a call from the heads of the hospital, emergency room, and infectious disease department, where he lives in upstate New York. He should come right away to the ER for newly available corona testing. So they gave him something that was negative, and they said, nah, we got to give you another test. I'm going to tell you what these new tests about to be. Though they offered to send an ambulance, right? He was fine. He felt fine. He drove there in an hour. In the isolation room, the doctors put him on an IV drip. See? IV drip. Did a chest x-ray and took the swabs. Now, back at work remotely. Back at work. He's back at work. Niggas ain't working. He's not only a nigga working, he's a nigga that got tested and he back at work. He ain't quarantined. He faces a mountain array of bills. His patient responsibility, according to his insurer, is now close to 2 bands, $2,000, and he fears there may be more bills to come. More bills to come. So your boy went there, he's negative. You feel me? They did all this stuff and said, my man, you're good. Then they called him back. Nah, he's still coughing. He's a candidate. Come on down. They said, yo, you got to take this other test, which he will incur another bill. Overstand. We're going to follow the bag today. You know what I'm saying? I'm not being insensitive. I'm not saying this stuff is not happening. I'm telling you something happening. And it's a reason that they have everybody's attention on the same thought. Right? Everybody's attention is on the same thought as of how this thing started, where it came from, how you can get it, etc. Only thing I'm getting what they're encouraging, they keep saying, man, stay away from everybody. Stay away from loved ones. Stay away from everybody. Because this is the time where, you know what I'm saying, your spiritual light is turned on. This 2020, this is that spiritual vision. They know the year in terms of like, man, just think of this, right? You had situations where even when they was talking about 9/11 on the news, you had some other stories that they were talking about on the news. This is around the clock, one story. Everybody's doing press releases and this and that. They got all these press releases, but we sitting at home quarantined and these niggas moving around asking questions. And then they say politicians are getting infected. So what you see on that election is the election's going to be a mail-in ballot, which your boy Trump is already going to win. So, hey, he ain't got to mail that shit in or not, but they're not going to have people lining up at no polls. As I told you, this thing is not going to be over in a month because something else is taking place. Now let's go into them test kits. Now, the FDA put out a situation to where they started selling these test kits at the beginning of this shit. It was independent companies. The FDA said, nah, man, we can't get a cut. We didn't approve it. So many of these tests, and the FDA said these tests are a little shaky. You know what I'm saying? So now they're a little shaky. But now they're allowing niggas to sell these tests. Tests that are not fucking accurate. Now, we just explained homie that got the $2,000 bill. They let him go. He was fine, went back to work. And they said, come back, take another test. Okay, check this out. Too many rules. FDA restricts coronavirus at-home test kits. They say them shits ain't accurate, my nigga. And remember, they can get cross-contaminated, all kind of shit. They're traveling through the mail. So, but they about to roll it out, and I'm gonna tell you who's about to get the bag. So now here we go. This is the former CDC chief. Now check this out. The former CDC chief is ratting on the fucking CDC. Like, my nigga, something else going on. Y'all about to get a bag for them tests. It's baffling. My nigga said it's baffling. Danielle Bradman, a researcher and biologist at consultant firm Lux Research, told the news Eldenwell was wrapping up the infrastructure to be able to handle up to 250,000 of these tests weekly. This is a company coming out with it. Eldenwell had 30,000 at-home use kits ready to go before regulations put their sales on hold. See, the FDA stopped their money. But now the FDA only let 3 companies, I'm going to get into it, hold up. The company interested and directed these kits to the hospital. See, look, Norex, this is one company, had already begun sales of at-home kits before having to halt them. See? So wait a minute. Some people already had these kits. They were selling these shits. The government said, nah, nigga, ain't no businesses getting money but Amazon. You feel me? You ain't shipped these to Amazon? We need our cut. So let's continue on. We have stopped all the new test requests. Norex website said the FDA said that it has concerns about at-home kits. Check this out. They concerned with it, but 2 days ago, they let it rock. And I tell you it's about a bag. They were concerned about at-home kits because after the user takes a sample, it then gets shipped to labs, and the shipping could reduce reliability. Self-collection at-home kits or at the sites of others than designated collected sites staffed by healthcare providers raise concerns regarding specimen stability, transport, and appropriate collection materials. So understand what we getting into, family, because ain't nobody else talking about this. Your boy Morlock Holmes on the case. Let's look at China. China bans exports of test kits. So they all on the same shit like, oh, my nigga, we got a pandemic on hand, and we got to create something supply and demand. You feel me? This blue magic, nigga, ain't nobody else selling blue magic but us. So everybody puts a halt on all these companies, and you got to get a particular license to be able to sell your kits that the FDA was already arguing, saying them shits ain't accurate. What's going on? So they about to sell some stepped on work? Yup. Call it dog shit. Call it what you want. You know what I'm saying? But don't call it blue magic. So now, after European buyers complain of being sold substandard products. So they getting shaky tests. Beijing says only companies approved by the National Medical Products Administration can ship their goods overseas. Previously, manufacturers need only to have CE accreditation to be able to sell in Europe. So now let's follow the bag. Look, we just seen that, the CDC, you can't sell them. They're not accurate. Then I tell you, look at the date. March 30th, day before my solar return, they said, nigga, we about to get some money. They should never gave you niggas money. In-home COVID-19 testing kits available to buy on Wednesday in Hayes County. And Austin, and look, Texas has like damn near 0 cases. How about that? And Texas is one of the only states in the union that have their own embassy. Yeah, that's another thing. And most of your presidents come from Texas. But it's a nice little history because Texas had less than 50 years of so-called slavery there. Yeah, you might want to do the research on that. But Austin, Texas, starting Wednesday, Hayes County residents will be able to buy in-home COVID-19 test kits online. See that? With a prick of the finger, you can find out if you're coronavirus positive without leaving your home. See, the first plan was to get you comfortable staying home. Then they say, nigga, you ain't got to come down to the hospital, but we building all these hospitals and we causing panic and we saying we need all these workers. But now they saying we got the at-home joints. Really? How much are these tests? This is one company. I'm going to show you the price spike. The kits cost around $49. The remaining kits will be available on the first come basis to other countries. See, they selling their shit to other countries. So it's like a few companies. This is one company. They got the go ahead from the CDC to basically from the FDA to sell their product, where other companies got shut out that was already selling some shit. So what happened? Did they confiscate their work and revow another nigga's work and call it something else? It's another company. MedBell offers COVID tests, right? Digital Hospital, MedBell is offering an in-home COVID test at a cost price. See, everybody making money. This is in the UK. To support the UK healthcare system, with the option for people to initially sponsor tests for key workers, right? So now they got it where you ain't got to donate no money. You could buy a at-home test for somebody and send it to them. Spreading that propaganda around. Although each test costs, look at that, that's euros, baby, 225 euros for each test. They saying, send a donation to us, and you could, that's like sponsor children. Sponsor children out this motherfucker. You can sponsor this little coronavirus patient, you know what I'm saying, from Hospital Nowhere America, you know what I'm saying, and for 225 euros a day, my brother, you too, you know what I'm saying, can have a mass-free environment. So let's continue here, family, because it gets deep. At-home coronavirus tests, everything you should know. Now, look, we just started with the CDC said this shit is all bullshit. They're not accurate. You're going to find a lot of problems where tests you thought was positive or negative and shit you get what I'm saying? They're going to be rounding people up. Military going to be knocking on your door. Hey, my man, you test positive. Come on out. You know, your wife bought you this test for your birthday. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get your hubby something for their birthday and shit, get them a corona test, and they're going to get dragged off. I don't encourage it. At-home coronavirus tests, everything you should need to know. Now look at this. Coronavirus testing shortages in the U.S. and spurring, look, a shortage. Now they got companies that's about to sell the shit, but they only letting a few companies sell it. What the fuck is going on? Look at this here. U.S. are spurring private companies to develop at-home kits. Look at that. But the FDA is not on board yet. Look, yet. They had to work out their percentage. Yeah, man. You know what I mean? While you at home scared, don't be at home scared. You should be looking at this with your magnifying glass like, man, or how all this stuff get past us in the midst of us being home. You get me? So family, they're going to tell us 50 different versions of this story, but the truth is the truth is the truth is the truth, right? You ain't got to spin the shit. It's the truth. Coronavirus pandemic is a severe shortage of test kits, and the suppliers need it to perform the tests. So look at all this shit. They create a scarcity, and then they monopolize on the market, and then even after they already admitted that these tests are not accurate, but I'm going to show you where we're going with this. Yeah, boy, every other business is pretty much shut down. Do you know who's making the most fucking money in the country right now? Amazon, baby. Now, I'm going to show you the connection of Amazon and these tests. Amazon Jeff Bezos pledge to help the world with corona test kits. So Amazon gonna help out with selling the test kits. But guess what? It gets deep. Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos, whatever, and the World Organization Director General for trading ideas on how to get the COVID-19 pandemic under control, using tools ranging from Amazon Web Services, firepower on cloud computing, and artificial intelligence to distribution channels for coronavirus test kits. So Amazon is going to be in charge of keeping the fucking data of people's test kits. What is going on, my nigga? Let's continue on here, because right, we ain't talking conspiracy, we talking facts over feelings. I don't care how you feel. The truth don't care how you feel. I want to know what you know. I want to know what you can prove. Right? This because we got to get out of debating with each other. Nope, we got to look at what's going on. Bezos gave top billing to the assistant that Amazon Web Service is providing. Look, who the fuck we rounding up? The WHO and its epidemic intelligence from open sources that UN agencies initiatives to track trends in epidemiology through an enabled analysis of tens of thousands of news reports from around the globe. AWS, this is Amazon's marketplace, has pledged 20 million. So they put up 20 million to say, yo, my nigga, let's be the ones selling the test so we can get paid. Then we gonna be the ones compiling the data for the test, and we just give it back to y'all. What the fuck is going on? And at this time, Amazon's the only people making money. High performance supercomputers on the coronavirus case. They donating computers to log data and all kind of shit. What's going on? And remember, the nurses were saying they giving like flu-like tests to test, people for the virus. But they're about to start selling at-home kits on Amazon where you could prick your finger for blood. They going to the DNA. So what the fuck else is going on? Meanwhile, Amazon Care, let's get to it, is handling deliveries and pickups of at-home coronavirus test kits for the Seattle Coronavirus Assessment Network. See? So Amazon gonna sell you the kit. You gonna prick your finger, drop it in an envelope, and Amazon is gonna pick it up and take it to the government. Really, my nigga? The urgent need for collective action to produce and distribute plentiful COVID-19 test kits. Producing the kits probably doesn't play to Amazon's strength, but distributing them probably does. See? You feel me? They like, we ain't gotta cook up the work. You know what I'm saying? We could just host it on our block. Cool. A surplus of fast, effective, easy-to-access test kits will be flattened the curve. See, they saying we're going to stop the spread by making everybody spend that $1,200 they about to get, you know what I'm saying, on one of these test kits from Amazon, because you get everything else on Amazon. Nigga, you can't make this kind of shit up. We'll continue to help who in every way. Who they helping? The name of the organization is WHO, my nigga. Who? They like, who the fuck we helping in the coming weeks and months? See? Weeks and months. Months. They already know that this shit gonna stretch out for months. Amazon said, nigga, we about to get paid. Look at this. Coronavirus home test kits. How does it work? When can you buy them? From Boots and Amazon. You feel me? This just happened. This COVID-19 home test kits are on the way. They on the way, my nigga, and could be sold in Boots and delivered by Amazon from as early as next week. See? Right when them checks about to roll around. How do they work, and when can you buy them? This here. This is the database they have, right, for the testing. This is Amazon that run this shit. This is Amazon Marketplace here. The COVID tracking project collects information from all 50 states. Yeah, something else going on, my J. And I tell you, they monopolized the market. Now they saying, hey, should investors buy stock for its coronavirus detection kits? See? Nobody else is making money on the stock market. I'm going to show you the 3 companies. So if any of the family are investing, I'm going to show you 3 companies you might want to invest in, because, everybody else can be out buying these kits. You might as well make some money off the situation too. Yeah, it's all's not a loss here. But I'm going to show you the people that are making money. The number of individuals infected continue to rise, as does the death toll. Also, worrisome is the emergency of the infection across the globe. The stock market has dropped precipitously, right, in recent days. We are already seeing how the spread of the coronavirus, which causes the respiratory disease. See, it causes something with your breathing. But you might have people that already had complications with their breathing through their life. You get what I'm saying? And they go there and they got you on something dripping in your arm. And hey, man, I'm just saying, ask more questions. So look at this here. Now, this is one stock here. New York Stock Exchange, QGEN. That's the company from China that, you know, has these at-home test kits. They about to get a shitload of bags. So you might want to invest in that stock. Using QANG's QSTech DX system, a technician loads a sample, such as a swab, into the cartridge, which it then places it into the analyzer, right? So they got a swab test on the market. Remember I told you, these other guys, they selling the blood test. So like, which one is more accurate than the other? Then the FDA said, we don't believe none of them shit's accurate. And especially transferring and putting shit in the mail and that kind of stuff. But look at this here. It's another company, APPB. That's their number on the stock exchange. Applied Biosciences Corporation. This is the stock joint. This they wave. Get you some money. You know what I mean? Get you some gold and get you some stock and people getting these kits, because they definitely gonna make money in this crisis. Look at this here. Thermo Fisher buys Dutch firm that tests for coronavirus in an $11.5 billion deal. See, look, this is right before, by March 3rd, there was only like 5 deaths here. It was only 5 deaths. These people buy this big ass motherfucking company that make tests. They wasn't making nothing else. In fact, this company was doing pretty fucking bad for a long time before they got a bright idea. Let's get into this. Thermo Fisher Scientists is buying the Dutch diagnostics company, Queijing, right? And I just showed you these people. Queijing is connected to another company in China. Queijing said last week it had shipped a newly developed test kit to detect the virus that causes COVID-19 to the 4 hospitals in China. The company says the kit can distinguish the novel coronavirus from 21 pathogens that cause serious respiratory disease and delivers results in about an hour. See, this is what they pushing. Let's get to it. The company generated revenue $1.53 billion. Its tests are used to extract, isolate, and purify DNA, RNA, and proteins from a wide range of biological samples. Let's get to this. Thermo Fisher approached Queijing in November. See, this company bought the company from China. Peep the game. In November, about a potential purchase. So look, they was trying to make a deal to buy this company in November. What did they know was about to pop off? Which prompted the latter's shares to rise 13%. See, niggas started investing in this company like, yo, y'all got it popping. What y'all know is about to take place? The biggest jump in 17 years of the company. Them niggas jumped 13%, my nigga. Months before the virus jumped off, they the niggas selling the test kit. They stock jumps 13% months before this shit jumps off. But the deal wasn't consummated. See, they didn't finalize the deal in November until the opportunity came, the pandemic. After the Christmas drama, Queijing had to issue a press release saying that the negotiations had halted. Both companies were finally able to hash it out and close the deal. See, they closed the deal and they about to get billions on the stock market selling you these kits. Look, it's another company. This right here. Marketing genius, my nigga. You can make your own at-home kits. Coronavirus test kits. Look, this one company, $35 to $700. Results are given in 15 minutes. These other niggas say, yo, ours is an hour. The virus, look, kit is up to 96.3% accurate, nigga. I don't want to be 93%. What happened to the 99.99, my nigga? That shit ain't as accurate as hand sanitizer. Testing human blood serum. So they're testing the human blood with this one. Get you your test kits. You can get them in bulks of 25. You feel me? All of these niggas is about to cash in. But look at this here. Private firm criticized over 295 euros coronavirus testing kits. See? Everybody getting a bag, my nigga. You feel me? It's about that bag, it's about that bag, it's about that bag. So, let's continue. These are other companies that are making it. Look, what does that say? For sale, my nigga. We are not giving this shit to the government. Look at this. It's one company. These other companies, you can find their stock too. Look at that. Everybody's shit for sale. Yeah? Suppliers developing test kits. Everybody's ready to go. How they get ready so fast? Right. Ready to go. Everybody ready to go. Let's get to it. These are 3 stocks to buy if, you know what I'm saying, you want to put your coronavirus check on a company that's, you know, selling the kits. You know what I'm saying? You might double up, you know what I'm saying? On some paid in full shit. You might double up. Who hit you up with all them test kits? Hey, you know what I'm saying? So look at it, family. Ayatu Bioscience Incorporated. AYTU. That's their stock number. Or stock, symbol. The kit uses a drop of blood from a prick of a finger, which sends to providers fast results than the nasal swab. So other niggas is doing nasal swabs. Nasal swabs, throat swabs. What the fuck is going on? However, the company recommends a second test for people tested positive. Why are they saying, nigga, you get this test, get you another test? Buy 2 of them. What the fuck is going on? Get one for you and your dog. Quagen, right? That was the other company. 6.5 million tests by the end of April. And more than 10 million per month. These niggas about to get paid. Drop a bag on that stock. By the end of June. See? By the end of June. See? You talking about you about to have a hot who summer. You about to have a quarantine summer, my G. You feel me? Because you ain't going nowhere. This is the other company here. Co-Diagnostics Incorporated.